Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mr. Yurko here, and today we're going to go ahead and walk you through the process of making this cool little wooden pencil. So far, everything we've made has been using just a couple of simple features. In this model, we are going to do just that, but I'm going to add just a little tiny tweak here and there to make things a little interesting. We're going to make this very realistic looking wooden pencil, and I'm going to show you how. So, without further ado, let's get started. First, we're going to open up a new part studio, and then we're going to go ahead and, just like always, create a sketch. This sketch we'll go ahead and create on the right plane, and what we're going to be looking at here with our pencil is, if you look at a pencil from the end, you'll see that it is a hexagon. So it's got 6 sides on it. So we're going to go ahead and hit the N key to get normal to that screen, and from the origin, we're going to go ahead and use the polygon tool to draw a polygon. I got to make sure it's selected. Draw that polygon. When you click the polygon, it's going to come out whatever size it is, and you can move the mouse or just type the number to what size you want. I want 6 sides. I'm going to click on that. And then the next step, and this is critical, is I'm going to go from face to face with the dimensions. I'm going to get the dimension tool, click and release on one face, click and release on the second face, opposite face, and we're going to give it the dimension for the pencil. So a pencil all the way across face to face is about 1/4 inch, so I'm going to type in 0.25, and that's going to get us our pencil. So this is our pencil profile. There's our extrusion profile. I'll hit the green check, and there we go. I'm going to turn my planes off for a moment, and you can see that there we have that pencil hexagon. So we're going to extrude that. Our pencil is about, let's go with 8 inches long. So I'm going to extrude, hitting the extrude button. We'll select the entire hexagon. We'll go 8 inches. This is a new part. We're going to be using facial pencil extrusion to make that. And just go ahead and let's call that the wooden shaft. All right, that's our wooden pencil shaft. And there you have it. So there you go. Of course, pencils, as you well know, are not just a wooden shaft. Oh wait, let's give it some color. So let's go ahead and right click on this. And we're going to add an appearance, and we'll make the appearance of this yellow. Okay. So as you know, pencils, back to what we're saying, pencils are not just a single piece of material. There is a graphite core in a wooden pencil. So we're going to go ahead and create a new sketch on the end of the pencil. And then we're going to go ahead and tap the N key to look straight down on that, normal. And this is where we're really grateful that we started at the origin. So we're going to go ahead and take the circle tool, and we're going to click on the origin, release, move the mouse, click again, and let's go ahead and give it the dimension again this time. So you can tap the D on your keyboard or click the dimension tool up top. Click and release on the edge of the circle. Click and release to place the dimension. And the diameter, distance all the way across that graphite, is about 1/8 of an inch, so 0.125. Enter that. We're going to finish that sketch. Before we do that, let's call it what it is. That's the pencil graphite. So there's the center. That's our graphite for our pencil. And of course, that's going to be a part that runs all the way through. So the first part was that down here on our parts list. That first part was our wooden shaft. Wooden shaft. And the next part we're about to create is going to be based on the pencil graphite. So we're going to extrude that. Select that pencil graphite circle. We're going to change the direction by hitting the opposite direction arrow. We're going to go 8 inches just like we did before. And this is a new part again. Make sure we click that new part, otherwise you're not going to have a second part and you're just going to have a chunk of wood. Hit that green check. So now I have a new part, which is visible all the way through. And we're going to go ahead and right click on that and rename that pencil graphite. And there we have it. So there's our wooden pencil. But wait, there's more. Let's go ahead, and if I look at my pencil, let's see, I've got a sharpened tip and I've got an eraser and a thingy-do holding the eraser on. So let's go ahead and try making that thingy-do that holds the eraser on. I'm going to turn my planes back on so I can see where we are. I'm going to go back and no, I'm not going to take it back. I'm not going to turn the planes back on. We're going to go to the back end of the pencil here, and we're going to start a new sketch on the back end of the pencil, and then we're going to view straight down on it. And that's just a tube, right? It's just a little tiny piece of pipe. So we're going to go ahead and draw a circle out to here, and we'll draw a circle out to there, just a tiny bit past it, just past where it doesn't want to click anymore. Click, and that is what we're going to call the ferrule. Hit that sketch, and we're going to go ahead and extrude that, and that's going to be our ferrule. That's going to be a new part. It's going to be we're going to select the area we want to draw. I'm just going to click the ferrule sketch so I don't have to click all the little doodads. We're actually it's going to be a new part, and we're going to go in two directions this time. So it's got to be part on and part off of the pencil. So let's go ahead and I'm going to leave that blind. That's fine. It's going to be second end position. The first end position will go. This whole thing's about 3/4 of an inch. So let's go with 0.4 in one direction and 0.3 in the other direction. And maybe how's that look? Yeah, it looks about right. Actually, let's change that around. Let's make that 0.3 and 0.4. Your mileage may vary. You want to check to make sure it looks correct when you look at it. So does that look about right to you? You can also just push pull, but take what you get. All right, so that's a new part, and I'm going to click check mark when I'm done. So now I have a wooden shaft. My second extrusion was that pencil graphite. Let me rename that. Then we had the ferrule sketch, and we have the ferrule extrusion. And so we're going to rename it as the ferrule part. That's a part. I don't know what the thing's really called. I think that's what it's called, but whatever, it's a part. And let's give it a color. Let's edit that appearance. Let's give it like a silvery grayish color. That'll work. So there you have it. But wait, there's more. We need to put an eraser on there. What's that process again? Sketch. Let's click on the surface we're going to sketch on. We're going to put it right on the end of that pencil again. View normal to it. We're going to take our circle tool, get back on that origin, bring it out to right about there, and finish that sketch. That's our eraser. Hit that green check, and then we're going to extrude that eraser. Just choose the eraser sketch, and we can just push pull that into a position that looks about right. So right about not quite. Right about there. That looks pretty good. Give it a name, eraser. It's a new part, and there you go. Let's rename that. And erasers aren't gray. Let's go ahead and give it a proper eraser color. So edit appearance, and that's more like an orange. There you go. Looking pretty good. Looking more and more like a pencil. But now we got to sharpen the tip. So let's go ahead and sharpen the tip on this pencil. I'm going to go ahead. Now we're going to turn the planes back on, because we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a revolution this time. So I'm going to start a sketch on this top plane, and then we're going to go ahead and draw a line from the origin out to the end. This is going to be our revolve axis. Escape from my line tool so I can go draw the next part. So the next thing I'm going to draw is basically the cutting edge. So I'm going to zoom in here. And what I've learned is you can't do a revolution around an exact point. So we're going to have to cheat just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and draw from this end point, well, from this intersection right here, I'm going to draw a straight line there. And then we're going to go up and out to where we want to go. About there. Now from here we can just grab this point and pull to whatever angle we want. If we're not happy, we're going to call that the pencil tip. And there's our sketch. And then we're going to go ahead and revolve around that. So we're going to hit the revolve tool. We'll identify that pencil tip as the region we're going to revolve. And then as far as our axis, we're going to pick that line we picked. This time it's going to be a remove. And we have to, it wants to know what merge scope. So we're just going to pick everything. It's going to cut that. And there you have it. There we have a pencil. That's all there is to it, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to go back and tweak anything, like for example, I want to change that angle, make it a sharper pencil, bring that point back. And you can play with your colors and play with the color faces to try to get exactly what you're looking for. Let's rename that pencil tip. And the last thing we want to do is let's go ahead and put some engraving on it. Turn the planes off. So let's go ahead and add a new sketch to the surface here. And zoom in on it. And let's get our text tool and let's personalize this pencil. And let's go with Pax Nation. You can write whatever you want on here, but have fun with it. And that's going to create that. If it's a little bit big for you, you can pull on the arrows, or just give it a dimension. It's a little small. We'll measure from the height. So that's a 0.144. Let's go with 0.12. Uh-oh, didn't like that. I know what happened. I'll just delete that. And we're going to try it again. It got snapped to those edges. So I'm going to make sure I make it a little bit smaller this time, so it doesn't snap on the edges. So again, let's try it again. That would explain why it didn't look right. And there it is. Sweet. All right. Oh, so let's rename that engraving. And let's go ahead and extrude that engraving. And now we're going to do a remove. We're going to click the engraving that we want to remove. We're going to just go 1/100 of an inch, 0.01. And on the wooden shaft, it's this one. We're going to call that engraving. And there you have it, Pax Nation 2021. All right, awesome. So that's all there is to it. You guys can make really cool stuff, have fun, be creative, and as always, keep being awesome.